It's one thing to want to be rich. It's one thing to want to be successful. It's one thing to have a goal. You can have all of those things, but if you don't have the right mindset, if you don't change your mindset, you'll never accomplish any of those things. Talking about how I changed my mindset and it opened up an entirely different world for me. Talking about it in this video, so you know what to do. Stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Today we're getting deep. We're going deep into the subconscious, deep into the mind. Not really my mind, but we're going deep into, we're just going deep. We're getting deep today, and we're talking about mindset. I know a lot of people will comment. They'll say, you know, this guy, he doesn't have no plan, or he doesn't have this, he doesn't do this. But what they don't really know is what I'm actually doing. You know, what's really going on up here. How I'm growing my YouTube channel. How I'm growing everything. How I'm growing my name to the point where I get emails every single day from people offering to pay me money to do things. Now, I'm not talking about like, oh, you know, sexual favors. I'm talking about real business deals. It's really been a long time since I've emailed somebody asking for a deal or offering services. If you look at my professional website, if you look at my filming website, I haven't updated it in like 2 years. I need to update it. What I did in the last 3 years is I created my own brand. Now, I'll give you a little backstory. I come from a very simple start. I grew up in the country. Basically, we had pigs, we had horses, we had cows. I used to ride horses. I had no money. I had worked random jobs when I was younger. I worked for my dad, construction. I worked as a valet at a country club for a while when I was like 19, 20. And then I started to film. I made a little bit of money. And then, you know, I was making money filming. It was great. It was awesome. And I always knew that I would never get rich from filming. Now, you know, I could go out and I could film for a week straight and make, you know, $3,000 or $4,000, which is pretty amazing to go out and film and have fun and make money. I didn't have the mindset to really become successful until later on. And it took a while. It really did take a while. There were years, I think maybe till I was about 25, 26, where every single month, I shit you not, every single month, I would have $0 in my bank account at the end of the month. I would literally be that desperate. I would be that bad. I'd be waiting for the next paycheck. I'd be like, oh, it's going to be like 2 or 3 weeks before I have any money. So I would go maybe 2 or 3 weeks with $0. I'd live on credit cards just to get by. I'd borrow money or stuff like that. So it wasn't until I was 25, 26 where I really started to change it up. And I was like, okay, I need to stop thinking about making money. I need to stop thinking about the next job. I need to stop thinking about the next paycheck. I need to stop thinking about putting money in the bank. What I really need to start working on is myself. I need to work on my mindset. I need to think bigger. I need to really figure out how the world works. I need to figure out, how do rich people make money? How do the richest people in the world make money? And that's kind of when I got in the stock market. But that's not what this is about. This is not about like, oh, if you want to get rich, you need to be in the stock market. This is the idea of changing your mindset from only thinking about getting rich to now not only to be rich, but be successful. And a lot of people have different ideas of success. And now, by no means am I saying that there's a certain amount, that you need to make a certain amount of money to be successful, to be happy. That is not what I'm talking about. But what I'm talking about is changing your mindset. And I know I keep saying that. We're going to get to the point here. We're going to get to the point. But I think really what it came down to was once I stopped putting number values on opportunities, or once I really just stopped caring about money, is when I started to make money. And I know that sounds crazy. It does. It really does sound crazy. When I really just started to dig in, when I started to look at everything, and I started to think about life, what I was doing wrong, what I could do better, that's when it all changed. And I think the real key to my success was double down on myself. I focused on myself. I figured out what I was good at, and then I doubled down on it. And then I tripled down. I went all in on what I thought I was good at. I knew I could make videos. I knew I could talk on camera. I could just talk bullshit all day if I wanted to. I knew I could do those things. I knew I could handle social media. I knew I could create content. And that's what I did. I got my deal with Drone Nerds. I started my YouTube channel. I really just went from 0 to 100 really quick. And the funny thing is, you know, thinking about it, like back in the day, I'd be like, there is no way I can make money on YouTube. There is no way I can make money off social media. There's no way I can do any of these things. The only way I can do it is if I film, or maybe I get a real job, or I'll go work construction again. But now it's been 2 or 3 years where I don't worry. Honestly, I don't even check my bank account. I don't check my bank account. As weird as that sounds, I do not check my bank account. Maybe like every once in a while I'll check it, but most of the time I do not check my bank account because I don't worry about the money. And I think that's really what happened here is I stopped worrying about money and I just started working. I just started doing me. I just started focusing on what I wanted to do. Now, I know you're going to think, well, Patrick, I'm not a YouTuber. I can't just go out and start social media. I can't go out and make a YouTube. This is not just about YouTube. This is not just about social media. This is not just about, hey, you need to make your own brand. This is about figuring out what you are passionate about, what you are good at, and focusing on how to offer those services to more people. If you're good at mowing yards, I mean, I can cut a good yard. I'm pretty good at mowing yards. So if the YouTube stuff doesn't work out, I might start a lawn care business. Maybe that's my next step in life. This whole thing might just stop tomorrow. Who knows? But no matter what you're passionate about, there's opportunity to be made. There's always opportunity out there. And you really just need to focus. You got to dig. You got to dig deep sometimes. And I think at the beginning, when you first really start on this path, when you make a decision, when you start to go down that path, the reward might be very, very small. So a good example, when I first started this YouTube channel, I was making maybe $1, $3 a day. Like legit, I would make $1 in a day. And I thought, whoa, I made $1 off YouTube. This is amazing. And people would say, oh, why would you do that? That sounds like a waste of time. What an idiot. Why would you spend, 5 hours a day making videos for YouTube and making $1? That makes no sense. So it was very hard at the beginning. It was hard because the reward wasn't there. And now this can be really anything. If you're mowing yards, when you first start mowing yards, if you buy a lawnmower, if you buy a weed whacker and you start mowing yards, you're not going to mow the best yards in your neighborhood right off the bat. You're not going to start mowing the best right away. But if you start small, if you start focusing, people will notice. People will start to see like, man, that guy mowing the yard down the street, he's pretty good. That yard looks really good. So it just takes time. I think what it comes down to, the mindset is when you first start doing something, when you're passionate about doing something, when you set out on a goal, the reward might be zero. There might be no reward. It might be almost not worth it. It might not be worth it. It might not be worth doing what you want to do at the beginning. But you have to not worry about the money. So there it is, money. It's always worrying about money. You have to stop worrying about the money at the beginning. It's not about the money. It's about figuring out what you're passionate about, diving into it full head on. You're head on. You got to commit. If you don't give it your all, if you don't go all in, you're not going to get the reward. You're not going to get the ROI, the return on investment. So if you go only half in, if you start mowing yards, but you're only doing it half-ass, and people can tell, the reward won't be there, and you'll probably quit over time. You won't get anything out of it. But really start worrying about just doing it. Doing it 100%, going from 0 to 100 real quick. And I think that's what it comes down to. I think that's what really changed. When I turned 25, 26, I just stopped worrying about money. I stopped worrying about making money, and I started worrying about just doing what I wanted to do, working hard at it. And then I was rewarded, 2 years later. Now I'm making money. I'm making money. It's happening. There's real money being made from this YouTube. There's real money from opportunities that come from the YouTube. And then also, day trading and all the other stuff that I do. It's not that I'm making millions of dollars with YouTube, but it's all the things that come with it now. The awesome thing about this YouTube, the awesome thing about day trading, all this stuff is the more effort you put into it, the more time, the more energy, the more you work at it, you get rewarded. And there's nobody else out there that's going to do it for you. It's really just putting in the effort, putting in your own effort to the point that you just are having fun and getting to the point where you stop thinking about the money, stop thinking about the rewards, and you just start thinking about what you want to do and then monetizing that going forward. And like I said, it's not just for YouTubing, it's not just for social media or even day trading. If you want to cut yards, if you want to mow yards, start mowing yards, but make sure you're putting your effort into it. Make sure you're really going all in. You're not just, oh yeah, I do this, I cut yards, it's not really working out, I make a little bit of money. But if you're going to be cutting yards, be the best damn yard cutter, mower person in the world. Landscaper, be the best landscaper in the world. And I guarantee you, I promise you, you will be rewarded over time. It might not be right at the beginning. It might not be in the first year or even 2 years. It might take some time. But if you really, I'm talking about if you 100% get behind it, if you get into it and you dive in deep and you go hard, you're going to get rewarded. But it just takes time. It takes time to get over that first hump where it's not worth it or it's not rewarding or it's not amazing. You just got to get over that hump. And then once you get there, it's going to be glorious, baby. Glorious. Hopefully this inspires somebody else out there who's maybe right there right now. Maybe you're on that path. Maybe you're going down the road where you think it's not going to work out. It's not rewarding. I promise you, keep on going, boys. Keep going down that road. Whatever it is, you're going to get to the point where you're going to wake up one day and be like, wow, I did it. I did it. And we're going to do it together. I promise you. Just go hard. Go hard in the paint.